unmuting until we are required to speak. We can all keep our microphones muted so we can have an other interaction from now till the end of the program. So if you are supposed to speak, then you can unmute and speak, but let's try and keep our microphones muted so we don't disrupt the interaction. It's just 2 minutes past 9, and so with the very permission of the CEO and Dr. Christina Voti, and the members who have joined, both staff and then student members, I would like us to begin the session. And so, without much ado, I would invite Dr. Christina Voti to give us an opening prayer. Doc, if you are with us, kindly unmute your mic and then give us an opening prayer. And then we would invite our CEO, Mr. Robert Jatto, to give us opening remarks. We'll have a presentation by Dr. Christine again. And then if we have Mrs. Jemima Kato, the best inductee student for 2022, kindly be on standby, and you would give us some moments, your experience with the CIB program, and then coming out as a best student. Then we'll have a question and answer session. Then we'll have some question remarks from the CEO, and then we'll close. So topmost, we should be done in an hour or two. So please, let's stick to the rules of keeping our microphones muted until we are supposed to speak. Doc.
Hello, AC. Thank you so much.
Kindly pray.
Okay, please let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we are so grateful unto you for such a great opportunity. Daddy, we have assembled here. It's our prayer that, oh Lord, you open our mind, you will guide the session. So at the end of the day, we give you all the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, can I hear all of us say amen?
Amen.
All right. With the permission, may I find a CEO online? Hello?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, sir. You're welcome. So let's all keep our mics muted and listen to opening remarks from our CEO, Mr. Robert Jatto. So please, sir, the floor is yours. Thank you.
So thank you, Yusuf, and thank you, Dr. Christine, and all other students who have joined us. I see the number here is quite low, and so we hope that others will join. I understand the sacrifices that we have to make this morning from family perspective, from weddings that we need to attend and funerals to be here. So for those of you who have made it, I'm extremely grateful. Thank you. I termed this program or today's event a SHE event. SHE, which is S-H-E, SHE, is very feminine in sound. But it's the S is to share with you some of the things that we are doing at the Institute. The H is to hear from you, students who are key stakeholders in what we do as Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana. And the E is to encourage you to put in your best. And certainly you would encourage us when you pass your exam. So that's the SHE program, to share with you, to hear from you, and to encourage you or encourage us. So once again, thank you for joining. I think the starting point for me is sacrifice, right? If you are here, you have certainly have to sacrifice something to be here this morning. And I've touched on that already, family commitments, funerals, weddings, and things like that. But that is exactly what it takes to succeed. Succeed, whether you are in banking or medicine or whatever profession you choose, you'd have to sacrifice something. And I think that for the Chartered Institute of Bankers qualification, you have to make some sacrifices. And I'm sure we'll hear from those who have gone ahead of you to pass the exams, sharing their experiences with you. I think that we are not making the assumption here that you've not been students before. We've all been students before. But this is a professional banking qualification like no other. And therefore, it will be important to pay attention to the details. So why are we doing this? We think that it's important to engage stakeholders. There's the concept of Ubuntu. You are because we are. You are students, and that's what makes us an institute. If you don't exist, we don't have a mandate. And our mandate is really to promote banking education in Ghana and to regulate the practice of banking. And I'm sure Dr. Christine Avotri would share some further details about the institute with you. But honestly, I think that we are at the best moments of our lives as students or as professionals. Things may be challenging in our banking industry today with all the macroeconomic instabilities, as well as the haircut, which is top of mind at the moment. But that's when we need professionals. We need professionals like you, and we believe as an institute we are developing what I call trusted professionals in financial services. And I think the emphasis is on trusted and professionals. And if you're a student today, some of you are already working in the industry, we expect you to demonstrate that value of being a trusted professional. When everything else is falling apart, when other colleagues are cutting corners, you used to stand up to and demonstrate the value of integrity and honesty and all the things that we expect of professionals. So I don't want to talk plenty, except to say that this is a series of engagements that we are having with key stakeholders. We've engaged lecturers and people who facilitate our teachings, and they have shared some comments with us. One of them is that they expect you, students, to be more serious in class and certainly take the assignments that they give you seriously, because that's the only way you would pass your exams. And I guess you're not writing these exams to fail. And our intention, certainly as an institute, is not to fail students. Honestly, I don't think the intention of examination is to fail any student, but you'd have to put in the effort. You certainly have to make the sacrifices, and the results will show. And people have done it, and so you can. I believe, yes, certainly you can. I think as an institute, what we are very clear about in our minds is that we are here to solve problems. I know what problem we are trying to solve. We are solving the customer problem. The customer, our number one customer, is you students. And I think that may sound very high level, but we recognize that you are our customers. And you, in turn, when you qualify as qualified bankers, go to solve problems of other customers. And those customers are your employers, your banks, and other institutions that you work for, because they are our next customers. That's your customers. But those banks also exist to solve problems and satisfy the needs of banking customers. So what I'm leaving with you is that we should all have that mindset of customer centricity, customer experience. As students, you're our customers. As professionals in the banking industry, you serve your employers who are your customers, and your employers' banks also exist to serve and satisfy the needs of customers. And therefore, we are clear that that's the problem we need to solve. And today, those who solve the customers' problems get the customers' money. And we are very clear in our minds that that's what we want to do. We have a clear strategy to do that. The intention today is not to share strategy with you, except to mention that part of the strategy is to engage as many stakeholders as possible. We have engaged lecturers, like I said before. We are engaging you students. We are engaging others, just to make sure that we're demonstrating the value that as an institute we need to provide. And I'm sure Christine will tell you very shortly that if there's one aspiration we have strategically, we have a mandate which is legal, but strategically we exist to be the most relevant institute of excellence, for professional banking education, and certainly developing trusted professionals in the financial services industry. I'll pause here and just thank you for joining once again confident that this session you will find fruitful, and it will certainly be one that we can note some key comments from you that will help improve what we deliver. But don't forget that we are here to share, to hear, and to encourage, which is a SHE event. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll hand over to you, Steve.
Okay, thank you very much, CEO, Mr. Robert Jatto. For those of us who are new, is our current CEO. Thank you so much for your presentation, and your opening remarks, and telling us that it's a SHE meeting, which is to share, to hear, and to encourage. Thank you so much. Without wasting much time, I've seen the number has increased now, CEO. We are 37 now, which is not bad. So I'm sure others might want to apply the Ghanaian mentality that's wait for a few minutes before I join. So we hope that the number increases before the session ends. So if Doc is with us, we will invite you to give us your presentation. Dr. Christina Voti is the head of professional education at Chartered Institute of Bankers, Ghana. So without wasting my time, Doc, can you kindly unmute your mic and then let's have your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. I just want to plead with my student members. Please invite your colleagues. If you know someone who is not online, kindly just send a text or a WhatsApp message to the person that it's time for students a moment with the CEO. Please join and let's share our ideas and get good feedback from you. So that's what I'll plead from my student members.
That's an order.
Okay, please, can you see my screen? I'm sharing my presentation. So if you can you see my screen now?
So we can all unmute and respond.
Yeah. Yes, madam.
Okay,
yes,
thank
yes.
you. Yes. So my name among student members popularly is Christine, Dr. Christine. So you are free to mention and address me appropriately that way. So can we move on? So I'm going to put it on the slide mode so we can all see. Okay. So this is the outline of our presentation. As CEO rightly mentioned.
Since your presentation is gone off the screen, I cannot see again.
It's gone off.
I don't know if others can see. Yes.
Can you see?
It is off.
I cannot see, so I'm sure others cannot see.
It's off.
We can't see.
You can see.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. Let me come back. Can you see now? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
No.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
It's come now.
Okay. Can you still see it? I put it on the slide mode. Can you see?
Yeah, we can see.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, we can see now, Doc.
So this is the outline of our presentation. We'll just a brief introduction. Then we move on to look at about the Chartered Institute of Bankers. Then we look at student affairs, basically as the main thing that we'll be looking at. So let's move on to the introduction. Why the need for this session? I think during CEO's presentation, he mentioned some key reasons why we need to have this session. Can we please mute our microphone? Can we put it on mute? So this session is a session to provide us a moment to interact with our student members get feedback from you, get questions that you want to ask to address, and get your view on certain things, and get some suggestions on how that can help us improve upon our systems or processes of working. So I'll take you through this moment, and we pay attention. Then at the end of the day, we ask our various questions. So we come back. What about Charter Institute of Bankers Ghana? Charter Institute of Bankers Ghana is a public institution since 2019. The institution has existed, but it is in 2019 that it was given a legal backing to operate as a public institution. So our legal backing is from the Charter Institute of Bankers Act 2019. That 2019 Act 991. So this is the act that actually brings the institute into fruition as a public institution. So it gives us the mandate to perform the following functions: as to promote the study of banking in Ghana. So it is the only institution that actually has been licensed to promote the study of banking. So which means that in actual fact, all banking courses designed by all universities and others, as part of the accreditation process, the institute make much input into it to see how relevant the course is going to be, the content and all those things. And as part of promoting the study, that is why we have this session with student members, where we recruit student members, take them through the necessary relevant professional education so that they'll become relevant to the industry. So it's our core mandate. Then we also regulate the practice of banking in the profession, that's in Ghana. What do you mean by regulating? As part of our regulation, all members we encourage, we have student members, we have associate members, we have fellows, we have ordinary members, we have affiliates. All these members comes under the umbrella of the institute. And we have our code of ethics that we use to regulate the conduct of our members. We actually give a great support behind to the regulator, BOG. We do a lot of things in collaboration with BOG to make sure that the conduct and the behavior of our members in the banking sector is the one that is desired, that professional we are talking of. We continue to provide related banking services as part of our mandate. There are a number of related banking services that the Act mandate us to provide. We have people who are chartered bankers. They can be licensed to practice receivership. Others that are going into training, teaching of professional banks, and we have a lot that we have as part of our related services. We also have other specific functions that we perform as part of our mandate, especially we run CPD, we run a certification program and others as part of related other functions that we perform to promote the study of banking and to regulate the practice of banking profession in the country. We move on to look at our vision as institute. The vision of the institute, as you mentioned clearly, we say we are to be the most relevant institution of excellence. We are not just institution, we are talking of relevant institution of excellence for professional banking education, regulation in the financial service industry. What do you mean by relevant? The relevance here, we are talking of our education, our training should impact and transform the banking sector. That at the end of the day, we have professionals that can actually change the face of banking, professionals that will be ethical, have high ethical values, that they have professional conduct, professionals that have mental, professionals that have mental ability that can change the face of doing things in their banks. the regulation, we are talking of financial services. It tells us clearly that CIB is not only limited to banks. Our scope is not limited to only banking institutions. Our scope is open to other financial service sectors. We have the microfinance institutions, the savings and loan companies, rural banks. We also have even treasuries, organizations that perform, have treasury departments, CIBs, ACIBs, or professionals that go there also perform such services. We have the telcos that are emerging. So all these are part of the financial service sector. So we hear a lot of people say that CIB is narrow, so there's no need for you to come and specialize or go through the CIB course. That is old way of thinking. CIB is not limited to only banking. We have a lot of organizations that are doing allied banking services, which our training prepare people to fit well into those sessions. As we can talk of here, we even have people that we have inducted, not only graduated, inducted as ACIB, working in the Ghana Army, working in VRA, working in Ghana Forestry, working in MTN. It tells you that our scope is broad and not limited to only the financial, the banking sector. So spread the good news to your other colleagues. Then our mission is to develop fully the academic and professional potential of practitioners in the financial services sector, and those seeking to be practitioners by a course of study in banking and financial services. So we actually want to develop people that can actually shape the face of the practice of banking. When we talk of practice of banking, we are not saying banking. There are a lot of banking services being rendered by other financial service providers. Then we come to we are looking at our value proposition and core values. What's our value proposition as an institute? We say we impact knowledge, we develop skills and competence, shape the behavior of practitioners. Knowledge impact, we do this through the regular CIB course, through certification course, through CPD, and therefore we encourage you to avail yourself, that you take your study serious, not to study just to pass your examination, but to study that will become part and parcel of you. I always say, you need to justify yourself wherever you find yourself as a chartered banker. So therefore, don't just come, just get to yourself prepared when it's some limited time for exam, just to brush through, chill, pour, and forget. No, let's move from that level so that we learn to be part and parcel of us. That is the knowledge, and we avail ourselves for various certification and training and CPD that will be organized by the Institute for us to attain that our value proposition of impacting knowledge. Develop skills, we develop your skills through our practical professional training and your competency so that you can transform the face of your bank, shape the behavior through our ethical professional standard that we hold. What are our values? As CIB, our value is honesty and integrity. It is sad to hear that with the fraud sector survey report, we get over 50% of the fraud being perpetrated by bankers. It's so sad. So meaning that we need all of us to come back and revisit our issue of honesty and integrity. Whenever we are doing something in our banking hall, ask ourselves, are we exhibiting our value? Are we exhibiting our value of honesty and integrity? That will help us promote our professionalism that we want to see being exhibited. We move on to look at what's the leadership. Why do you need to talk about the leadership of the Institute? Several times I get students calling and they confuse the president with the CEO. Now, that is part of the reason why we need to touch on leadership. In fact, the Chartered Institute of Bankers At the top of it is the council. Then the CEO, the president is the leader of the institute. He is actually heading the institute. He is someone who is elected into office. Then we have the administrative head, the one who actually heads the day-to-day administrative issue at the institute. He is more or less at the managerial affair. The head of the managerial body is the CEO. So please, when we have issues that we need administrative solution, it is the CEO that you need to address to. So there's a difference between the CEO and that of the president. The president is more or less the ceremonial head of the institute. Then we have the administrative head being the CEO. So let's take notice. Then we have membership categories. We have student members. These are people like your kind who have enrolled on our programs to study and to become an associate members. Then we have ordinary members. These are members who are not enrolled as students, but they are working in the banking sector. Because we want to bring everyone under our ethics and professional conduct and control and training, all those working in banks, they are allowed to register as ordinary members if they are not ready or if they are not in the position to register and study to become an ACIB. So this is open to everyone working within the banking sector to register as an ACIB until maybe the person decide later to register as a student member and go through the institute examination to be inducted as an associate member. Then we have affiliate members. Unfortunately, currently, at some omission, affiliate members have not been captured. But we have those who complete the associateship examination program and have not obtained the minimum qualification of 3 years working experience with financial institution. They are graduated and put under a category as affiliate members until they attain the 3 years minimum working experience with financial institution. Or some, per the nature of your work you do, you may not have the opportunity, but we recognize you equally as a member of the institute, and we give also that visibility that you are a member and your contributions are always welcome to promote the institute. Then we have associate members. These are members that have completed the associateship program and have made the 3 years minimum professional experience and have been inducted as chartered bankers and elected as associate members. So they are, then we have fellows. These are people who have, after 10 years of being elected as associate members, and have distinguished themselves by contributing greatly to the institute. Then they put in application. I'm saying this is not automatic that you'll be promoted. You put in the application. We have committee that screen the application and make sure that truly, apart from being associate members, you have actually contributed to the banking sector. You have contributed to the affairs of the institute, and therefore you deserve to be elevated as a fellow of the institute. We have ordinary fellows. These are fellows who were not associate members, but per the virtue of their contribution to the banking sector and their contribution to the institute, the institute recognize them as and award them that ordinary fellow status. So these are not status gained as a result of education, but for recognition for their good work towards the banking sector and towards the institute. So these are the categories of members that we have currently as an institute. Then we come to student affairs. Now, what we look at here, we first of all, we're looking at student membership registration. I know, and all of you here are students, you have already done your membership registration. The question you may be asking is, why do we need to go through this? Yes, we need to do it just because you are our mouthpiece. You tell others in the industry what they are supposed to do. So that is why we are going through this with you, so that you know this and you can disseminate this information to the others. So we say that what are the documents required? We need a copy of your certificate. If you, on your form, you list that you have first degree, second degree, PhD, and others, all the courses you've listed that you have done, we expect to see evidence of these courses. So we expect that you submit the certificates that relate to the courses you have stated on the form. So if you are not interested in bringing a certificate or related to that course, then don't bring that course on your form. As long as you put that there as a course, as an area you have attained qualification, we expect to see the certificate. We expect to see the transcript as well. Now, someone may ask, why do you worry me? The certificate here, we have situation where members have completed, associate members, fellows, certain development happen at their home and things. They now fall on the institute to help them get their certificate, get a copy or certificate submitted. So please, it's always to our own advantage and for our own good to make sure we submit these certificates to the institute. A very neat and a clean certificate, certified true copy that we keep, then the transcript as well. Now we come to the membership application form. Currently, the application form is available at the website. So when you go to the website, you have the online one, you click, it will send you straight to our portal where you complete the program. Now, our admission fee, unlike academic institution where admission is given to you before your fee is declared you pay, for as a professional body, we don't sell the form. No, you are not paying for the form, but you need to pay your admission fee upfront. You pay the admission fee and attach evidence of payment to a portion where on the form for us to see that you have paid before we can go ahead and process your admission request. So if you give us all your certificates and other documents, the passport picture we need, without the payment, we cannot process the admission form for you. So please, those that we used to do hard copy, so when you come, you pay and attach receipt before you process. So tell your colleagues, we are seeing situations where people just go online, complete the form without attaching, paying for the admission. Please encourage all those that you be our mouthpiece. Tell them our admission fee is paid before you submit. It's part of the things you need to add to before you submit the form. So let's take this serious and educate our colleagues at workplace. And the moment you complete your form, you send to us. We screen and make sure all the necessary documents submitted are relevant and are expected. And afterwards, we write letters to your various institutions that you obtain these certificates from for confirmation that yes, certificates submitted are really genuinely obtained. We do all this verification. So as we finish, we are satisfied. We will now register you in our system. The moment we finish the registration in our system, you see a notification will be sent into your email that you have been registered as a student member of the institute. Meanwhile, your hard copy of admission letter will be ready for you to pick, but this notification will go to you. We expect that you click on the link that sends you the notification, and then you actually activate your email address and change your password. This is very important for us because you have to go to this portal. Okay. So, sorry for a letter. I have to attend to some few issues. So we want you to make sure when you get the link, we have a situation where we finish, results are released. Then students don't know what to do. You need to activate your portal. That is where you have to register your examination. That is the portal where you have to access your results. So please, the moment you get the link, those of you who are new, you have not done that, quickly go into your email and make sure you activate your portal. So it will be relevant. Then we come to exemption. The exemption, we give exemption to student members, which is actually telling you that based on your academic qualification, you need not to write certain courses with us again. So the exemption is based on your qualification. So we have various, I'll just screen through, is available at the website. When you go through, we first of all give you an exemption offer. It's just an offer. So you need to pay for the exemption for us to give you confirmation for that courses that we have been exempted to be accredited to you as course that you have gone through with the institute. And that payment, you have to make it, the moment you make the payment, we issue you confirmation letter. So you have an offer letter, and without confirmation letter, it's telling you you have not actually paid, and you cannot proceed to write the next level of papers when you have not paid your exemption. You need to pay for the exemption before. If you are given exemption level 1, you need to pay for that exemption before you can start writing level 2 papers. If you are given an exemption level 1 and 2, you need to pay before you can start writing exam in level 3 papers. So those of you who have given exemption, we want to encourage you to, if you have not paid, please do that payment. And because of this, 2023, our process is going to be that when we issue admission letter to you, we communicate to you the various courses that the levels you qualify for exemption and the amount involved, and we expect that you pay 50% of that amount before we even give you exemption. We process your exemption issues for you. So let's take notice of this. You pay 50% of the total amount of the exemption that you qualify for before we process, even give you exemption offer, and you pay the balance. So these are the various categories of exemption. I think these are at our website. You can go through. Some at times people ask question, why should I do the same course? And we all did, let's say, marketing, and someone is getting exemption more than the other. It depends on the various universities. For banking and finance, automatically, both at HND and both at the first degree level, they get automatical exemption from levels 1 and 2. But when we come to other courses, level 1, other business related, we have level 1 automatic. But depending on your transcript, someone having the same course, let's say, for example, finance, economics, management, depending on the course of study or transcript from your university, one may get more exemption than the other. So if you see, we all did the same course, how am I getting more exemption? Someone is getting less. It's all because of the courses studied at your university reflecting your transcript. So you have all these at the website that you can go through for the purposes of time. So we move on. We as student members, you have to pay annual subscription. We talk of it is a yearly, we talk annual, meaning every year we need to pay our subscription, which is usually council approve the rate that we bring out and communicate to our student members. We expect that that payment should be done latest by March, because our first night is in April. And if you are owing subscription, you don't qualify to register for exam. So which means that we need to pay our annual subscription. Once you pay in March, the whole year you are free. Then no one will disturb you. So it's part of your obligation to the institute. But that shows that you're a member of the institute. Now let's come to our tuition. Tuition is being handled as part of the mandate of the institute. We give accreditation to other tuition centers. That's, we put them at the website. So if you go to the website, you don't see a tuition center accredited. That it means that it's an illegal tuition center, and we will chase and follow them. Don't go and waste your time. Meaning they've not gone, they are not credible. Some of you pay your money to them, they run away with your money. So make sure you go to only those. If you do not come to the institute, then you only have to go to those accredited teaching centers. Now, as the institute, why do you need to register and have your tuition at the institute? For us, currently we have weekend session, that is Saturdays and Sundays. And in order to give you more contact session, we have also introduced evening sessions where on weekdays, you have 2 hours, that is for level 3 and 4 papers, 1 hour for level 1 and 2 papers in the evening. So as part of our timetable, we make this available. So even if something should happen for you to miss the weekend session, you also have the weekday that you can join. If you miss the weekday session, you have the weekend. And what do you have? As part of the institute, we give, the moment you register with us to have your tuition with us, we give you free textbooks. You need not to buy any textbooks again in the subject that you have registered. So it is part of the package that goes with our tuition. So we want to encourage you to come where we have lecturers that are actually trained, and lecturers that have that professional talent that can give you the right grooming, the right teaching. We are not only interested in just give you TB to pass where you not acquire the knowledge. They groom you holistically. That will help you to become a good professional person. We give our payment flexible, where you pay at least 70% before you start, then you spread the rest and pay gradually. Our tuition is organized. We have a virtual platform where we have where people from all over the world, we even have people joining outside at Ghana that join our tuition and have tuition and have their exam written. So tell your colleagues, don't say I'm in a remote area, I'm far away, there's no teaching center close to me. Tell them the institute has a virtual platform that delivers tuition to everyone, everywhere, anywhere that you are. So then we have the in-person more or less blended for the subject data calculation. We have blended that those close can walk in and sit in class while we still read those far in the virtual platform. So these are issues concerning our tuition. Then we come to teacher evaluation. As part of our processes to make sure our lecturers put in their best, they put in professional conduct, they always upgrade their own knowledge and deliver the best to students. We want you at the end of every day to evaluate the lecturers, to give us feedback that will help us to retain or renew or to drop and get a better lecturer, all for the good of all of us. So we expect that you take part in this exercise, no matter how busy you are. Please take part in the evaluation of your lecture as long as you've taken teaching at the institute. Then we come to examination. We look at our examination structure, which is a key issue here. Our structure is based on the various levels. We have levels 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, per our examination policy manual, you need to complete one level before you move to the next level. However, there is a little room here. If at level 1, we have 5 papers. Assuming you have written 4 and you've passed, and you are left with only 1 paper under level 1, you are allowed to register that paper and add other papers from level 2 to it. So which means you can carry 1 paper from 1 level to add to other papers in the next level. You cannot leave that paper behind and come and register other papers in the next level. We will refer you to that when you register. So please, let's take notice. We have currently 2 dates. We have the April date, then we have the October date, where students, if your preparation is not enough, that before coming to write the April date, you are not certain of your preparation, you can always continue to study and come and write the October date. So write exam twice a year. So let's take notice of that. Examination registration is online. You go to your portal and you do that. You need to pay and make sure you pay every outstanding debt you have to the institute. If you are owing exemption, you pay the exemption before you register. If you are owing subscription, you do that payment. You have tuition with us and you are owing, you do that payment. It's very important. Other than that, at the end of the result, when the results are ready for publication, we'll block your results if you are owing the institute in any form for you to make that payment before you release your results. We have, as part of our preparation, we have the mid-examiner session, where the examiner, our examiners are different from the lecturers, where students have sessions with the examiners to guide them on how to answer questions, what they expect from them, and even you have a broad area. They may have, based on development within the banking sector, within the economy, they may say their focus of certain question is going to examine you to get this kind of understanding from students. So it is very important that every student who register should take part in the mid-examiner session. Whether you've registered for tuition with the institute or not, you are open to attend this session. And because we want all of you to participate, we have made it free. Previously, we used to charge you. Now we don't charge you. We send a link to the student platform where all of you need to register. All of you need to participate in the mid-examiner session. If you register for exam and for any reason that is only allowed by health condition, if you are not feeling well, you are not well during the exam period, at least you are supposed to notify us 2 weeks usually to the end of the examination, but it has not to the end of the exam registration. However, if the sickness takes place during the exam session, you need to obtain medical bill, medical reports, and send that letter to the academic. Then we will defer that paper you've registered to only the next date. Let's pay attention because we get issues here. To only the next date. And if you are not able to utilize that window, it means that you forfeit that money you are paid. And it's only 50% because administrative charges and that's taking place. So you only get 50% of the money you have used to register for the course. And you are only allowed to defer that one to only the next date. After then, assuming it's April date, you defer the course, you are allowed to use that 50% and top up to write the paper in October. If you feel it means you've lost that window of opportunity. Examination is conducted in 5 centers. We have Accra, which is the institute itself. We have Kumasi, currently, that's the Baptist University College. Then we have Tamale, University of Ghana Distance Learning Center. We have Sonyani, where that is the also University of Sonyani Polytechnic. Then we have Takoradi, which is University of Ghana Distance Learning Center. So all these are there where you can register and choose the center you want to write your examination. As part of our rule, you need to make sure you have your student ID with you before you enter. We circulate those information to you when it's time for examination. We count the release of results. We release results after at least 1 month after we write the exam. And when you are not in good standing in terms of payment, you are owing the institute in any form, we will not release your results. If you write the exam, you did not capture your index number, your result will not release. We'll block your results until we establish and validate that you are truly the person. You have, after the publication of the result, if you have any issue, you can call for remarking. It's your right, you exercise it. Or you call for remarking, that will give to other examiners to have a second look at your paper, and we will send the result to you. Now, it's not automatically that you've called for remarking, then your mark should change. We will have situations where you even end up getting lower marks than what you earned during the time of we release the results. You may even have you getting the same mark, nothing has changed. Don't see it as news. That is what you've obtained. It means that the examiners have done their right work during the examination processes. Now we come to the tidbits of passing a CIB examination. Now we have a number of concerns. Students call out what at all is in ACIB. They have written, some have written 10 times, some have written 12 times. You have records like that. It's so sad and it's so emotionally disturbing to hear such stories. And from our personal observation, from the feedback we get from our lecturers, it's like people take the course for granted, they relax too much. Getting to maybe 1 month to the examination, they obtain permission and come and sit down studying. It doesn't help. Please, once we have registered as student members, I want you to be determined. I want you to be focused. Get yourself, do investment by buying textbooks, do investment in terms of your time, forgo certain social activities, and make time for your study. After the day's work, make sure at least have 1 hour, 2 hours. Have personal learning time, timetable that you do some study. Get groups, get friends, form discussion group. Now we are in the electronic age. You can have even online platform where you can study. Please, let's do that. Don't let us wait 1, 2 weeks to exam before we see ourselves burning the midnight candle. It doesn't help. So we encourage you to do that. Pay attention in class. Come to class regularly. When assignments are given, please make sure you do the assignment. A number of you are failing not because you don't have the knowledge, you are not knowledgeable, but because your approach to answering questions are wrong. Please do the assignment given to you by your lecturers so that you can be familiar with how questions are answered. Your lecturers will guide you. Please, let's do that. Let's make time for assignments. If you cannot do it, get close to someone, get it done, get the understanding, and also submit the assignment. Make your lecturers happy. Last time, one lecturer sounds so frustrating. If all the money and the time is investing and the attitude of students, if we have to throw in the towel to quit from the lecturing business. Please don't make our lecturer frustrating like that. Let's help them to be proud of us. I always meet some of my former lecturers that always refer to us. Your time, things were not like that. Let's do so that they can always refer to us. We are people who have used just 2 years, which is 4 nights, to write from level 1 to level 4. You can be one of such people if you are determined and focused. Study, it is not too difficult, we can make it. So please, when your selection of your papers or examination, some courses are so involving and so demanding. You can seek advice to help you know how you pay your courses. Some have the potential to register for more courses and study and pass. Know your work schedule, know your busy schedule, and if you are taking it 1-1, do it. If you are taking it 2-2, do it, so that you can have more time and study and pass. So we come to graduation and election as an associate member. When you complete the program, that's from level 1 to 4, you'll be graduated or elected as an associate member. You stand for graduation when you don't meet the minimum 3 years professional experience. They will graduate you as an affiliate member of the institute. But if you have the 3 years minimum professional experience in addition to completion of the program, you'll be elected and inducted as an associate member. So what do? We always send, the moment you complete the course, please send requests that you want us to send you completion, your final transcript, then confirmation of completion. We send this to you, then we will send a form to you that you tell us everything. The form has various categories of information you need to complete. Don't be lazy, especially those of you who are not working in banking sector. You are working in other financial or other organizations, but your job requirement is more or less related to treasury work, related to the banking services. Please take your time and provide us with the detailed information. That will help us screen you and know whether we put you under graduates or we put you under inductees. If you don't give us the information, we wouldn't know your job schedule, what you do. It is very important. So let's take time and complete the form, your job history. give out detailed job history, your various schedules, what you do, and what you'll be doing to help us. If you happen to work in a banking institution before, you are no longer working with a bank, please give us all those historical for all your experiences throughout your work life to help us. Make payment, then you pay the induction or graduation fee that will be approved. Then we'll give you, compile and organize, wait patiently for the day of graduation. So we come to payment. All students are supposed payment. We send payment either through the institute mobile account or through the various banks account that the institute has made available at the website. I think we'll make communication to students by specifying specific account that all payment from student members should go in for the purposes of easy reference. So that will be communicated to you in due course in the course of the year. And we don't accept cash. So don't bring cash to the institute, the front desk to come and pay. If you want to make payment, either load your mobile wallet or you pay through your bank to the institute for a very good reason. Okay, now correspondence and enquiries. All official correspondence and requests should be addressed to the Chief Executive Officer. And when you address it, we say address, so meaning you're addressing the request or whatever you want to the Chief Executive Officer. But if it's academic related, that request you address to the Chief Executive Officer should be sent into academic@cibgh.org. If you send it to the info on corporate affairs, it will not get to academic. That it will delay the response to your issues. So please, all academic related issues, address to the CEO and send to the academic@cibgh.org. You have our contact number and the videos that you can send other information that you need. On this note, I want to say thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine Abbotey, for such an engaging and stimulating presentation. It's been about 50 minutes continuous presentation, and that's a tough one. We thank you so much. I believe we all listened to her and then heard all that she said. And then I've seen a couple of staff from CIB have joined, Mr. Elom, Mr. Boy, Dr. Frimpong, David Lamptey, our IT guy, Mavis, Mr. Samuel Edu, Madame Vivian Tete, and then Mr. Paul Gajepo. You're all welcome. And so I was asking on the chat if we have our past best inductee, the best inductee students in the person of Mrs. Jemima Kato. If you are with us, we would want you to share your journey with us since you joined the program from the beginning and how it ended for you and the experience so far. And then if you have a word to share with the new people, new students who are starting the journey or who are in the process of becoming ACIB people. So please, if you are online, Mrs. Jemima Kato, I don't know the name you used to sign in.
Hello.
Going through it now.
You hello. Some of us we want to ask questions. Hello.
So, yes, is that Jemima?
Please, can you hear me? That's Princess. Yes, that's Princess.
Okay. Is that the Jemima?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, because it's a Princess, I wasn't sure whether it's the same person. All right, thank you so much. So please share with us. We are to hear from Mrs. Jemima Kato. She's the best inductee student for last year. So please, some 5 minutes to share with us your experience so far, and then any advice you have for those who are to begin the journey.
Hello. So sorry to interrupt. Yusuf, I was thinking you were allowed after Madam Christie presentation. Sorry, Dr. Christie presentation. Any student that have a question, so that we can listen, and then we can then move to the next person. Personally, I have a question I want to ask regarding the virtual platform. So if I can do that, then we'll move to the next person.
Well, we had a program line up, and then we're trying to just stick to. She has just 3 to 5 minutes to say what she has to say, and then we'll take questions and answers, and then we'll close.
All right.
So
Okay,
you wouldn't.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So on that note, Mrs. Jemima Kato, please, you have 3 to 5 minutes to tell us about your experience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Yusuf. I'm sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. As Yusuf said, my name is Princess Kato, and I'm a banker and a family person, to be precise. I actually started CIB in 2019. I was exempted from level 1 and 2, and then a paper in level 3. As Doc said, you can't be given exemptions based on your transcripts. So I happened to be given an exemption. So by the grace of God, I completed the remaining papers, having sat for 3 diets. So what that means is that anything is possible so long as you put your mind to it. I would say that considering the current financial system, you have all made the best decision by doing or choosing CIB. If only you allow the school to pass through you. There's a difference between allowing the school to pass through you and then you passing through the school. Because this would help you appreciate some of the practices better, especially in the real world. Those who are bankers, you will appreciate some of our practices better, especially in the area of corporate governance and then ethical conduct. Also, it can expose you to the global perspective on banking and then finance issues. Because I'm sure that by now we know there's a paradigm shift towards green financing. So if you undertake the CIB course, it equips you, it gives you a global perspective of everything. You are not just limited to Ghana or just your bank. So I think it's the best decision we have all taken. I'm sure somebody will ask how I was able to get an average of, say, 75 plus in all my subjects. I would say that it's all about determination and investment. Doc spoke about investing in your time and then textbooks. Please try as much as possible to do that. There's a saying that where your treasure is, there your heart will be. So long as you are making an investment or you're putting an investment in this CI, because I think that it's just fair you dedicate your time to it and make sure you do it once and for all. It will interest you to know that when I was doing my CIB, I never had the opportunity to go on leave because I was on a tedious schedule and my boss will not even give me any leave. But I still made it. So what it means is from the word go, you need to have time for yourself. You have taken the decision to do CIB. So I think that from the word go, there's nothing like waiting till a month or a week to exam, then you will go on leave. It will not help you. So from the word go, please, I will entreat each and everyone to start from the word go. You have to be deliberate about your time. What I also did, one other secret I had is that I sacrificed a lot of my radio programs in the mornings and anytime I sit in the car. Because instead of listening to all those programs, I rather sacrifice those ones for the recordings from the lectures that we had. So at least with time, I got in tune with whatever lectures that we had previously, and I wasn't able to really partake or participate. So I think that strategy can help, especially those who drive to work. If you don't drive to work, you can just put your earpiece in your ears, and whilst you are in the car, the Uber or whichever means of transportation, you are listening to your lecture notes. It saves some time. And then one other thing I would like to urge all of us to do is we should all be open-minded. CIB is a course that brings people from various banks and various institutions. Let's network, let's learn from other people, so that at the end of the day, we would have bits and pieces from each and every one that will come under this CIB umbrella. Because you can't sit under the lecture and know everything. This is a professional exam. It's not a degree or a diploma exam. So people will expect some level of competence and demonstration of professionalism after your completion, or even if you tell them you are doing CIB. So at least learn from other people. And I think the last thing I would like to say is fraud in the banking industry now is on the ascendancy. And all this is as a result of our behaviors, the bankers, how we behave. So I will entreat each and everyone on this call to take their ethical conduct seriously. Because when I was giving my speech, I made mention of the fact that lawyers are made to go to school for so long and giving certificate to practice law. So ordinarily, bankers should also be allowed to go through CIB, and then at the end of the day, you are certified that yes, you have gone through all these processes, you've been taught the ethical conduct and the professionalism before you are even allowed to work as a banker. But unfortunately, it is not so with bankers. So I will entreat all of us to work very well on our ethical conduct. And I assure you that you will all be fine. If you write and you don't get it, please go at it again. Never give up, because quitters never win. And Doc said that if you write and you are not comfortable with the mark you are giving, put in a request. Go for a remark. If you are entitled, they will give it to you. If you are not, try again. Never give up. I wish you all the very best and luck in this journey. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Princess, for such encouraging words. And so now it's straight to questions and answer session. So if you have any question, any concern or contribution, you unmute your mic, or you can also send a chat so that I take notes of your name, and then I can call you by your names. So please, you mention your name and then you ask your question. I directed to Dr. Christina Avoti, or to all the team staff who are here. If they can answer, obviously they can give you a response. So Albert Okra Esuman, Mr. Okra Esuman, please go ahead. You can unmute your microphone and speak.
Okay, thank you, sir. I registered on the portal on the 3rd of January before a circular was sent to our platform for an increment in the tuition fee. I'm asking if the increment will affect me, since I registered before the increment and then the circular on the portal.
Okay, so we'll take maybe 3 questions in a row so that they can be addressed in that order. So is that all, Mr. Okra Esuman?
Then another one is, I was expecting an email in response to my registration.
Okay.
But as at now, I still haven't received anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, please can I go on and ask my question?
All right, please, your name?
My name is Evelyn Echampong.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so my question is, when I first joined ACIB.
If you join with 2 devices, kindly mute one of them. We are getting an echo in the background. So if you join with 2 devices, you mute one of them before you speak.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's okay now. Thank you.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's okay. You can go ahead.
My question is, when I joined CIB last year, exactly a year around this time, I came to the institute. That was my first time. I came to the institute and then I registered there. I paid physical cash. But when Doc was speaking, she said the institute is not accepting physical cash now. I want to know, again, she stated it, but it wasn't too clear. Which platform should I pay to? And I heard a student also mention that he registered online. So after payment, do I have to do a registration online to be added to the various student platforms? Because I heard there is a Telegram platform. I am not on it and all that. So please, how do I pay and how do I register? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I've seen Mr. Amos Kwesi Senaya. Kindly add your question so that it will be addressed.
Okay, good morning. Yeah, good morning. My name is Amos Kwesi Senaya. Yeah, please, Doc did mention that you can study outside if you are not in Ghana, you can study outside through the e-learning platform. And I also want to find out if you go through the diet outside, what is the possibility of you writing exam if you can make it to Ghana?
Can you take that again? You want to know if you can take the exam online?
Yeah, you see, because of the e-learning, she said you can learn outside if you are not in Ghana or you are in the remote center. So I want to find out if you can make it to Ghana during the exam time, but you want to write the exams. Is it possible for the students who are outside Ghana at the moment?
Okay, so thank you so much. I think we'll pause here and then the team will address these questions and we can take another set of questions again. Doc, I don't know if you take 2 minutes of the questions. I've written them down. So maybe you unmute your mic and then if you can recap the questions in that order. We first heard from Mr. Isuma and then Evelyn, and then we heard from Mr. Senaya just now. So please, if you can help address them for us. And the team members who are on standby who can give responses to some of the specific questions on the, for instance, the online platform and all that. Mr. Boy is online, I'm sure he can also help.
Okay, thank you so much, Steve. To respond to the question from Mr. Esuma, when you register at any particular year, the council approved fees that we charge our members. And so 2023 academic year, though we opened the portal for tuition registration in 2022, December, November there, all registration for tuition, the fee will be based on this year approved fee. So if you have registered for tuition in 2022 December, the tuition will actually take place this year. So which means that you are going to pay based on 2023 rates. Then the question regarding he registered, he never received any acknowledgement. I'm not sure whether it's in connection with the tuition registration or student member registration. If it's in line with tuition registration, then I will highly apologize to you. And the normal circumstance will respond to you the email that because you complete the form. I don't know whether you did it through virtual, because we have the online platform. Then you also have the form you complete and send into attach and send to our email. Whichever form it takes, we are supposed to respond that we have received your tuition form and we are processing it. So you have not received that feedback from us. I would say we are very sorry for that lapses from our end. And now we will see to that things will not go on the same way. You will see it in a better taste. Then to come to the question of payments, cash payment. Previously, though the policy was there, we were a bit relaxed, but 2023, the decision is no cash payment at the counter, at the front desk. So all payments, you either pay into the institute's Momo account, or you pay into the institute bank's account, that we have made, all these are made available at the website, and we put these on the student telegram. So you have already registered, come to the institute last year and registered as a student member. There's no need for you to go to the online registration and do that. When you come to the institute to register, the lady at the front desk, what I know usually, they forward a link to you that you should use to register to join the Telegram platform. But what you notice that many a times you see the link is sent, people don't make use of it. So I'll plead with you, you first of all have to download Telegram on your machine. When you download it, then the link will be sent to you, we'll add you, then you join it. Alternatively, this year, as part of our strategy to get all our student members on the Telegram platform, I've tagged someone specifically that anyone who comes there to register, the person should give the person a call. Are you on Telegram? If you're not on Telegram, please download. And that person, if you download, there will be a communication between the two of you, then we add you to it. Because you have realized that for no reason, some of you, when the link is sent to you, you don't join. Then the story is, I'm not on the platform, I'm not on the platform. You first of all have to get the Telegram on your phone before we can add you. And when the link is given to you, you have to do that to join. So if you have not been given the link, please, I'll ask you are not on Telegram, join Telegram, and you can have my personal contact. Call me, and I will make sure I'll add you to the platform. Or call the front desk, and she'll forward the link to you again for you to join. Then coming to the outside examination. Yes, we allow tuition join from everywhere. We have conducted exam for students outside. It's only that the cost, you have to pay a certain percentage that is going to be higher than doing that exam in Ghana. Because it has to do with getting external exam vigilators outside, getting your paper sent through the courier, and getting your paper delivered throughout. All these are cost elements. We have really conducted exam for someone in Gambia. We have conducted exam for people even in UK and others. So it's possible we do, but that communication must come ahead of time. Who will do the cost analysis and send to you? So if you, that student, you are in the position to pay that, you go ahead and conduct and get places where that examination will take place and communicate to you. So I think I've been able to, I don't know whether I've missed any question from the speaker.
Evelyn, excuse me, Doc. Sorry,
Yeah.
Evelyn, where you can pay. So maybe our Momo number, and then we have bank accounts. It's also on the Telegram page. So those of us who are on the Telegram page, once you join, all these informations are there. We have 3 banks, CBG, that's Consolidated Bank of Ghana, GCB, and EcoBank, and then a Momo number, whether for merchants or for non-Momo users. The number is there. I can just quickly go through it so that if you are online, you can write it down. You can make your payment through that. 059 581 9788. I'll take it again. 059 5819 788. And if you're going to use a Momo, the merchant number, it is the merchant digit is 949433. 949433. If you are paying through the merchant option. But if you're a Momo user, you want to pay, it is 05905819788. All right, thank you so much. So I hope the questions the first set of questions were answered. If you have any other concern, you can send a chat so that we can let Doc address it. I've seen Mr. Nyama, your hand is up. Kindly unmute your microphone and then ask your questions or make your concern known.
Thank you very much. This is Christine Nyama. I enrolled on CID.
Okay.
For one. But what I've realized is CID course. So for me, I personally say the theory-based approach CIB can look into it and make it so practical. For example, somebody working at the back, let's say at the teller, and he or she has not been to the credit side before. But when they are teaching, they only see the theory based something. So somebody who's a teller has not been to the credit department, everything becomes so abstract to that person. So I am just putting across, if they can make it so practical, sometimes, if they can even have everything so clear. I think so. Please, that's my question. Thank you.
Any other? We'll take two more so that when we get three questions, it can be addressed at the go.
Okay, sorry, this is Amos. Please, I'm back again.
Okay.
Please, can I go on?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, this one, please, it's a little suggestion. Sometimes, actually, I'm have a role last year, so I'm not a. So I think during my first time, I think most of my staff I have to follow up. You call before the store is ready, waiting for you. And I think sometimes if a textbook, student ID is ready for a student, we have emails or our contact. I think text message can send to the student that your staff is ready. How can we deliver it to you? Bearing the course, that is sometimes you have to follow and make the course before they even try to tell you that you have to pay this before they will deliver it. And as at now, I think my student ID is not delivered. And then sometimes it's worrying. So if our credential details are there, at least they can give us a notification if our staff are ready. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amos. So, two questions. And a last one, so that we'll have, like you said, three at the go.
Okay,
Sorry?
good morning.
Good morning. Kindly
All
unmute
right,
and
so my
identify
name is Irita. Good morning. My name is Irita, and I also joined CIB last year. All right, so a little observation about tuition. So I realized that anytime you join a lecture online, it becomes a bit of like a hassle, like a lot of stress to fully participate in an online lecture. I take out the internet connectivity issue because that one is personal, but issues such as like when a lecturer is lecturing, the lecturer has a microphone, but as soon as a question is asked or a suggestion or something is being said by a student, that will not be heard by those of us online. So basically is when the lecturer speaks that we hear, but when our colleague students in the in-person speak, we don't hear. So that's an observation I would want the institute to look at for us, because sometimes even though you want to join in person, it becomes so difficult to join on the 1 or 2 dates, so you have to join online. And then my second question too has to do with the same online lectures. So where you are taking courses that has a bit of calculations or has some calculations, it becomes difficult when you are online and then you need to follow and actually see the figures that are being written on the board so well and be able to write. Sometimes in class, you may not really understand or get what is being taught, but at least when you are writing the
solutions down, it helps. So when on your own free time, you now you play back, and then you also look at what you've written and you better understand it. So these are the two concerns that if something can be done about how the board is projected when our lecturers are writing, especially when it's calculations like FR, especially, and then FIT. And then the issue of we not hearing our colleagues when they speak, when you are online. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So we'll mute our microphones now, and then the first three sets will be addressed, one on the practical aspects, and then the ID, communication, prompt responsive communication, ID, and then what Rita just said. So, Doc, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much for I would say most of the questions, they are not questions, they are feedback to us. And I thank all of you for the feedback. Mr. Kwesi, the question concerning practical delivery, yes, I've taken notice of it, and I'll get in touch with my lecturers and see how best it can come down to the level of those who do not have such banks. We have various departments that they can make the teaching more practical for everyone to follow. Then the issue concerning the ID cards and the more or less getting back to you to let you your document, whatever request is ready. In actual, I'm very sorry that for your case it happened that way. I know the moment letters are ready, we give a call to student members, and I've always insisted that if you call, many a time because your schedules are busy, the call goes through, you couldn't pick. Then that's it. So if you call and the person couldn't pick, please send a text message. That will let the person know that this is the reason why you called. The person can get back. So I've taken notice of it very well, and we'll see how best we can improve upon that communication bit and feedback to you to let you know when your documents are ready and to come for them. We'll see how best we improve upon it and give it better. Then Evelyn, I think your feedback is very noted. Luckily, the IT team, they are here. They will begin to think of how they'll project. We have camera that actually project the board so that whatever calculation is going on, no matter where you are, you can see. But it's unfortunate this has happened. You have given us a very good feedback. So we'll see how best you can work with it. Then the issue of microphone, we make a microphone available so that apart from the lecturer having microphone, we'll have some students also available for so whenever they are talking, they use the microphone. We'll see to all these so that things will go on. And in a way to address the issue of the board, we have a Google Classroom. Every lecture that takes place, we send the lecture period to the tuition, the engagement to the Google Classroom. And whenever you register for tuition at our NEA, we'll send a link to you so you can have access and go back and play. That's exactly what Madam Mrs. Gato was telling us, that you forget about listening to radio discussion and listen to the discussion on our Google platform. So it's always there. If you are not able to get the right thing clearly, go to the Google platform, Classroom. You get every class delivery very clear and neat for you to follow. Thank you so much.
Please, sorry,
Okay,
but
thank you so much.
If it's possible to put it up here for some of us, I would be pleased to have it. Thank you.
Okay. So, Doc, with your permission, if you give me permission, I'll just call it out or
please.
type it in the.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
So
you can put it in the chat.
I'll type in the chat section so that we can all take it from there.
Yes, please do that. Okay. You give them both numbers, my WhatsApp and then the contact. I don't have problem. Right. Okay, thank you.
So, any team members who are online, if you have something to add, Mr. Isaac Boy, Madam Vivian Tete, if there's something that you need to add.
My hand has been up for a while.
I'm sorry. Is that Samuel? Samuel.
Yes, please.
Oh, please unmute your microphone and
Yes,
speak.
please.
Sorry.
I believe,
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
believe everyone can hear me.
Yes.
So I have a number of questions here. This is actually the first time I'm partaking in this institutions, courses and study. But I have some few questions here. The first one has got to do with the timetable. So I checked on the Telegram platform, and in the weekend tuition, I noticed that some of the courses were highlighted in yellow. Hello.
Hello.
Some of the courses were highlighted in yellow, and then I think there was a note beneath that showed that all lectures will be done virtually, except the ones that were highlighted in yellow, which will be done in person. I don't know if I got that one right, but does it mean that the other weekend tuitions will all be held online, or you can choose to be there in person, but then there will also be an additional online tuition as well? So I would need a little clarification on that one. And then my second question has got to do with the textbooks and then the other things that we need. I don't know how it's going to be shared, or can I just go there and then ask for them, or I would have to wait to be informed they are ready, or I don't know how. I don't know if they can tell us how we can get the free textbooks. And then my next question also has to do with okay, so I believe after going through the institutions courses, it will qualify you as a chartered banker, or maybe an associate or an affiliate. That depends on what you have done. But then I would like to find out if these qualifications have any impact on your remuneration or your level of or your position sometimes at work, because some people may probably have attained an associate position or an associate membership position, but then it really wouldn't have any effect on their gradings in their jobs, in their roles at their workplaces. So I want to find out if, after going through the process, the qualification, and then you say you are given the associate membership, and then let's say you are working in a bank, is there any way that the institute communicates with their places of work to inform them about their new qualification, and then probably tell them how these things will affect their gradings or their remunerations or their roles or anything at their workplaces? And then my last question to you, though may not be necessary, I think I would ask anyway. With the introduction of the e-levy, now almost all transactions there's an e-levy. What if sometimes you want to escape this e-levy? Because if you are going to be doing all payments through Momo and then bank transfers, because now even bank transfers, because GRT tariffs have all increased and all of that. So I don't know if I choose to do cash payments, okay, aside the fact that the institute saying that they are going to only accept transfers and Momo payments, I want to ask, what if I want to do a cash payment so that I can actually escape this e-levy charges? Is there any way that I can do that? So I think that would be the end of my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I've seen a couple of questions in the chat. Some of them, I've tried responding to them, but some of them, maybe we'll read it out as part of the questions here so that they can be addressed. So, Doc, if you took notice of Samuel's questions, as something I would give you the chance to go through them. Yeah.
So let me respond to Samuel. Samuel, thank you so much for the question. Now, the timetable, we have purely virtual and then blended. When you talk of blended, it means it's a mixture of in-person and virtual. So those courses that we've highlighted yellow, it means that those courses, we have the option of the student member coming in person to our lecture hall or to join virtual. That's the blended session we are talking of. Those that have not been highlighted yellow and they are not blended, it means that all lecturing delivery will be through virtual. And we have reason those are virtual. These are more or less reading courses. So wherever you are, you can follow and read. Then we have those that we have a letter calculation. They are those in the blended session. There are those who are close and they feel they can come down to the lecture hall. They can't come and then participate in person. And those who for distance or for any reason can join virtual, they can also join at the same time. So that is the distinction here for the timetable. So, and to interest you that at the end when we start, you will see that the number of in-person, even with the blended one, keep on reducing, because most people patronize the virtual platform. Then you come to textbook. If you register with the Institute for Tuition and you make payments, we make the particular subject you have registered for. We will give, if you are far, we communicate with you to see how we want it to be delivered. We can send it through delivery courier to you. Or some will say, okay, I'll have some time, I'll pass by and I'll pick my books. Those who come in person, they get their books given to them. So these are the various options that we deliver the textbooks to the student members. So that's the issue with the textbook. It is not to every student member, but only to those who have registered with the Institute Tuition Center. So that is for the issue with the textbook. I think you had a third question. I think the third question has to do with, let me refer to me. Is it?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. The third question, his third question has to do with.
Samuel, if you can recap the last question.
Okay, so actually we are left with 2 questions. So the third one has to do with the impact on your qualification in your
very
role
good,
or your place of work.
Very good.
And then
yes,
the
so
last one has to do with the E-levy charges.
Yes, please. So we talk of the impact of the qualification or placement issue. I would say this is largely decision of the banks, most of the banks. I know there are certain banks that give so much recognition to ACIB as I speak. The October diet that we wrote, I've seen a number of students in some banks that rush to ask that they want their final transcript and confirmation of completion, so because they need it for salary increment in their banks. So that has to do with individual bank policy. I know some banks give so much recognition, but there are some banks that we are still working, that it's not automatic, but there are some banks that they are giving that recognition. And I tell you, currently, with the development at Bank of Ghana that's fit for purpose, you see that there are certain positions. If you are not an ACIB, you find it difficult to go to that position. We have situation that the certain gentleman that walked to the institute said he had an interview and he was selected for credit manager to move to be the head of credit. He went for the interview. He was asked whether he has any ACIB qualification. And he said no. So he missed that opportunity. The following weekend, he rushed to the institute to come and register for the ACIB course. He even came requesting if he can take only credit as a single subject to help him get the position. He couldn't. So he has to enroll. Don't wait till you get to that level. Perhaps today your bank is not giving that recognition. Your umbilical cord is not tied to that your bank. You can always move to another bank where you get that recognition. So that's what I will tell. Then the E-levy issue is well noted. I think we will carry and have a more engagement and discussion at management level and see the next way or next step of action based on this feedback coming from you. Thank you so much.
Doc, so let me read a few questions in the chat. Mr. Francis Tay says that I've heard a change in the syllabus. If that is true and possible, share with us a little insight about it. This will aid some of us in choosing the courses for this section. That's from Mr. Francis Tay. He wants to know about the change in syllabus. If it will affect them in any way, then that will guide them in choosing their courses for this section. And then we have Gifty, Mrs. Gifty Boama. Ms. Gifty Boama, she says she's not received any email from the institute yet. She has paid all her exemptions and tuition, but hasn't received an email yet. Sorry about that, Mrs. Boama. Definitely would address that. We'll take notes of your name and I'll address that for you. And then I have Blessing Addison. Okay, she does her compliments. We have Joe Berima. Please, at level 4, is it possible to undertake 2 options after finishing one option, for example, corporate governance and risk management and retail banking? So these are the chats that if with your permission, you help us address these ones from Blessing, from Joe Berima, and then Boama, and then the first guy I read, that was Francis Tay.
Okay. You see, thank you so much. I had a little interruption along the line, but the new curriculum down, CEO will be talking on it. We'll speak to it when you come to his closing remarks. So please, we will exercise patience. So you will brief us and give us more insight into it. Then the last 2 questions asked, I had a little interruption. So if you can recap it so that I can.
So I think Tibuama says she's not received. This is a complaint. So I've told her we'll take notes of her name. Says she has not received any email from us yet, even though she has paid her exemption and then tuition fees as well.
Okay, thank you.
We have, yes, so we have Joe Berima. He wants to know whether at level 4, is it possible to undertake 2 options after finishing one option? So for instance, if he's done corporate governance and risk management and retail banking, is it possible for him to take 2 options after finishing one option?
Okay. So, Joe, we have student members who, even after induction, come and take additional option and do, and they all reflect on in their transcript. So it's allowed. So the best is concentrate on one option, and so that you can complete and qualify and be inducted. Then the one you want to do, you can do it. Very soon we introduce certification courses which will address some of these issues. So when you complete one option, you can always come and take the next option you want to do, and you'll be given a certification as an expert in that area. So for now, yes, it's still allowed. Thank you.
Okay, so to all of us, I've just put the Telegram link on the chat. So if you have Telegram on your phone, you can just click on it and join the Telegram page for all of us. And I've also put doctors' contact numbers there on the chat. So kindly read them, pick her contact there, and also join the Telegram page. Another question coming in from Maxwell. I would want to know, for the purpose of making provision for fees, what are the mandatory fees to pay aside exemption and tuition fees? So Maxwell wants to know if there are any fees we paid except tuition, besides tuition fees and then exemption fees.
Okay, so apart our mandatory fees is only for exemption is constant. Once you're exempted, you need to pay. Subscription is annual payment. It's very important. That makes you to be a member in good standing. And the other fees crystallize only when you want to write or to register for tuition. If you register for tuition, you need to pay for the tuition fee. If you register for exam, you need to pay for exam fee. So these are the fees that you go. The mandatory one is your admission fee, which by now I know you are paid. Subscription is annual, which you must always pay. Exemption, once you have been exempted, you need to pay. The rest is it will crystallize when you take decision to write your exam. Thank you. Yusuf, I think we are to end at 11, so please, you need to speed out so that we can bring an end to the.
So we have 5 minutes to go.
Okay.
The questions that are on the chat, Doc, I think some of them we can respond to them on the chat for customized response that are on the chat. I've read some of them. I got you there quite a lot. So maybe we'll end it here for the question and answer session. But we'll read the ones that are on the chat. That should be the last one before we have a remark.
Please.
Yes. Hello?
I really beg. Yes, you see. My hand has been up for a long time. And
I'm so sorry, Dorothy. Go ahead.
Yes. My question is about the reports. I noticed that mostly after the results has been released, examiner's report comes later, for after the result has been released. So if you want to go for a remark, if at least let's say the report is being released a few days after the results has been released, it will help you to know where you went wrong and what you are going for. Because I'm saying this in respect to the higher rate of failure in Treasury. First, Treasury wasn't like that. So let's say if I want to go for remarking now in respect to Treasury, now unless I have to wait for the report before I can do that, and to go for remarking, it has a specific time. You are limited to some time. And also I don't know how CIB is looking to correct this failure rate. Because you go for the examiner, the examiner will say that students deviate, you don't explain questions like this, you don't do this. You make sure you say it's true outcome. Still fail.
Dorothy, we have a lot of breakages in your connection. Hello, Dorothy. Hello. Hello.
It's coming from.
Please, can we all mute our microphones if you are not speaking? Hello. Kindly mute your microphone if you are not speaking. Yes. Please, those of us who are online, can we mute our microphones if you are not speaking? Okay, Dorothy, is that the end of your question, if I may ask?
My concern is about the release
the concern, okay.
reports and the
results.
Okay. What the examiner really wants in Treasury, because you go by everything you write, you know that you went to write this paper, everything you learn came, but to your surprise, it will come and it's what you get is really a mess. So I don't really know what the examiner wants. Because for years I joined CIB 2021 October. And before I joined, I really make inquiries about how Treasury, people say, oh, Treasury is cool, but for some time now, it has really been something different. I don't really know what the examiner wants. I'll be very grateful if he can really explain to us, because when you go to the mid-examiner, he will say everything. Students don't do this, you sit by it, go through it, throughout it. So we write the exams and it comes and it's something else. So I'll be
Thank you so much, Dorothy. So there's a concern from Dorothy about Treasury. Hello, do we have Doc online?
Yes, thank you so much for the concern. I think your concern is equally a big headache and a concern to us. So we are actually looking into this to see how best we can reverse this situation. So it's your concern is well noted. In terms of the examiner's report, we have situations, some examiners, because they need to put this document together, we don't get immediate as before we release the result. But so far, we have assembled all those results. And it will surprise you that I've been begging that without submitting report, no memo for payment, to make sure I get my reports and send to my student members. So from next week, all those that are ready, will send them out. The member service will make sure they'll put them on the platform, on the website for you to have, on the Telegram page and the website as well. So you get this report. So we are sorry for the development with the Treasury, and we are still looking into it to see how best we can get engagement with the examiner and the lecturers to reverse this situation. Thank you.
Look, I was saying that some of the chats can be responded to directly.
Yes,
so
please.
So whilst we take closing remarks from CEO. I
Yes,
thank you all
please.
so much for the questions that are
Yusuf,
online.
one
Don't
last
waste
question.
Please, who is online?
Yeah, it's me, Yusuf.
Okay, please, I have a question to ask. Oh.
Yeah, Yusuf, just a minute. Can I flow?
Is that John Hammond? Hammond. Is this Hammond?
Yes,
Sylvanus.
please. Yes, please.
This is Sylvanus.
No, this is.
Let's have one at a time. Please, let's have Sylvanus speak, and then Hammond can come in. So please, Sylvanus.
Okay, thank you, Yusuf. My concern is about a suggestion. You know, this is an institution we are all passionate about developing, but the timing of our exams coming on weekdays. I think if we are encouraging all bank members to write, we know some take leave days to participate. Even if you don't take leave days, a particular day, there won't be staff to serve our customers. So I don't know if the institution is putting up plans to take exams on weekends so that we can get the membership drive, because we actually need the numbers to assert ourselves in the industry. This is my concern, and I just want to put it before you and see if the institute is having plans to consider that. Thank you.
Okay, Doc. I believe Doc is taking note of that. They're having exam on weekdays. Thank you so much, Sylvanus, for your concern. John, you can go ahead now.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, sir. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. My question is, I would like to know if somebody is outside the country, any European country, can the person still write the exams, and how, in what format can it be? And my second is a suggestion that if it is possible, maybe in the few years to come, we can also introduce online, writing the exams online, if it is possible. So my first question is it possible if somebody is outside the country, the person can still participate in the exams?
Maybe you joined late, but that was addressed much earlier. Doc addressed that it's possible, but it comes with a cost. So when you make the request, at least much earlier before the exam date, the institute will make the cost analysis and then give you the bill. If you're able to take it, then they'll organize that for you. So it's dependent. It will depend on the students who is outside Ghana. I don't know if that's
okay. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, I'm okay.
Doc,
thank you very much, sir.
like you said, we try to come at the time. It's just finished 11 o'clock. So please, if you have any other concern, the email address is academic@cibgh.org, and the contact numbers of Doc is on the chat page. You can pick it up and then give a personal call to address any concern that hasn't been addressed on this platform. Because of time, and then we want to try and stay within the 2 hours we stipulated. So please, let's end it here for the question and answers, and then we'll invite our CEO, Mr. Robert Jato, to give us closing remarks. Then we'll have a closing prayer. So, sir, if you're online, with your permission, kindly unmute, and then we'll have the closing remarks for the session. Thank you.
All right, so thank you, Yusuf. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you clearly, loud and clear.
Excellent. So first of all, thank you all for making the time for this session. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Yusuf, for anchoring this program. I'm conscious that when we started this program or this event, only about 35, 37 people were on the call. Now we have consistently over 100, and that's impressive. So I'll go back to what I said at the start, that this program or event, I term the SHE event. S for sharing, E to hear you, and certainly H to hear you, E to encourage. So I think we've heard, we've shared, and certainly we are what Princess Kato, who actually works at the Bank of Ghana, shared with us as well. So thank you, Princess. I think as an institute, we are very clear in our minds that whilst we have a legal mandate, we have a strategic mandate as well, which is to financial services, education. Our role there in relation to the central bank. We think that at this particular moment, there's some trust deficit, and we need professionals like you to fill that gap. And so please, let's take our qualification seriously. Necessary sacrifices. I know that most of you have sacrificed to be here, sacrificed family engagements, weddings, and others to be here. So please, I think that in that same spirit, let's sacrifice to complete this program. But beyond getting qualification, which is education, which is very, very important, there are maybe 4 other things that I want to share with you very quickly. One is experience. Get a relevant experience. 2 is also add to that experience expertise. You must be known for something. You must stand for something. There's a competence that only you and you can provide in your bank. That's what sets you apart. And honestly, people pay for education, but if you have experience, you get more value. And if you top that up with expertise, you'll get even higher value. To expertise, please add exposure. You may be good in one bank, but have you challenged yourself in an international bank, a regional bank? We encourage you to do that. That's the 4th E, exposure. And as an institute, we are determined to help you with soft skills training programs that will give you the necessary exposure. For example, how do you accelerate your career in your bank? What do you do when you're preparing for interviews? How do you volunteer for some committee responsibilities that would give you the necessary exposure? Do you understand the politics in your organization that can help you accelerate? All those things would organize. But on top of that, I think you need ethics. Ethics, doing what is right and doing it the right way, the right time, all the time is fundamental to our profession. And so would encourage you to pay attention to those 4 or 5 P's: education, experience, expertise, exposure, ethics. Don't forget that. As an institute, we are determined to serve our customers. You are number 1 customer, our students. But we said that you, as students, also provide service to your customers, and that's the bank that employ you or your bosses. And your bosses are determined to perform and certainly satisfy your stakeholders. Number 1 of them, which is customers. So let's have the customer mindset in everything that we do. I'll pause here. I know today is Saturday, and I don't intend talking plenty. I think I've spoken enough. So thank you. We are building an institute that is relevant. We need your support. We'll continue to support you to pass your exams. The new syllabus that is coming up, I'm told that I need to give a quick insight on that. Yes, we are redesigning the new syllabus. We hope that we'll launch it this year. But in terms of examination, it will be sometime next year. We'll give you the clear dates. But we'll encourage you. It wouldn't affect what you are doing now. If you finish before the new syllabus, then certainly it wouldn't impact you. What a new syllabus would do, though, is it will give you additional courses. And so if you want to take certification programs or modular programs, we will design same. Our thinking is under the new syllabus, really, today you have to write 19 subjects to qualify as a chartered banker. The new syllabus will be simplified, but would contain the necessary skills that you need. The understanding is, or the educational approach we are taking is just in case learning rather than just in case learning is giving way to just in time learning. In other words, you acquire the knowledge when you need it rather than learning everything and really never getting the opportunity to use that. So we'll communicate appropriately on the new syllabus, would do a competency mapping or the mapping of where you are relative to the new syllabus. So if it does impact you next year, assuming you haven't finished before next year, there will be clear communication. So don't worry, please focus on your exams now, your studies now, to pass the exams as you have registered for desire to pursue. I wish you the very, very best. I'm confident that you can do this. Others, like Jemima, have passed. And there's someone who wrote level 1 to 4 in record 2 years or 4 days or so. So please be encouraged, and be encouraged. Thank you very much, and have a fruitful weekend. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Chief.
Thank you so much, CEO, for the closing remarks and for being with us for this past 2 hours. And I thank you all for joining, the staff who've joined from their various homes, and to all student members, existing and continuing students. We welcome you all to the first diet. And for those of you who are writing for the first time, we wish you the very best. Those of you who are repeating purpose, we wish you the very best. Just like we heard from CEO and from Princess, and then from Dr. Christine, that we should all not give up, we should give out our best. And then once somebody has done it, we could also do it. We sincerely apologize for some of the challenges that you have with communication with us. And then gradually we're addressing them. Like CEO said, we're building an institute and we need you just as much as you need us. So on that note, would invite if Jemima is online, Princess, kindly bless us with a closing prayer and then we can call it a day. But I'm putting the phone number out again. I've also put the Telegram link on the chat. So those of us who have Telegram on our phones, we can all click on the link and join. If you don't have Telegram, kindly download one or let someone assist you download the app. We can all join and get up-to-date information on what is happening for lectures, for examinations, and timetable, and every other information about the institute concerning the program will be on the Telegram page. So please, if you don't have the Telegram app on your phone, this is a time to have one. If you cannot do it, let someone assist you, and then you can download the app and then join the Telegram. If you have any concerns, our phone number, you can call. I'll put the doctor's phone number too on the chat. And I'm also going to mention the Momo number. I'll put it down in the chat too, so that those of us who make any payment in future can also look at that. All right, so Princess, if you are online, please unmute and then give us a closing prayer. Do we have Princess? Okay, if you don't have Princess, I think I can call on at random any student I find online that I think. Dorothy, if you can hear me, please unmute your microphone and then give us a closing prayer.
Heavenly Father, please let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this gathering. Father, it's by your grace we've come this far. But you know we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Father, we need your strength, we need your grace, we need your wisdom to pass through this course and to complete CIB with success. We pray that may you grant us our heart desires and bless us this year and let the passing rates be high. Let treasury, the Amen. Passing rate for treasury go and let every glory. Father Lord, we bless you, we honor you for our lives. Please be with us all in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
All right, thank you so much. Amen. I want to encourage us to join the social media handles, our Facebook page, our YouTube handle, our Instagram handle, LinkedIn handle. Please, let's all join. There's a lot of exciting news coming on all our social media platforms, and it helps us to promote ourselves and also identify the institution. So if you have any of the apps on your phone, kindly join us and follow us on our social media handles. Thank you so much for joining us today for today's session. I wish you all the best. We'll meet some other time. Bye-bye.
Doc. Dr. Botry.
Hello.
Good work. Good work. Good work. You, Steve.
Yes.
Thank you.
You, Steve.
Yes, sir.
I'll go to the mosque with you on Friday. You've done
Inshallah,
well.
You're most welcome.
Nice weekend to everybody.
All right. So I wish you all the best. Have a very good weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.